I'm Bree, and this is TJ. In 2017, we decided to break away from the norm and travel the US in our custom 4x4 van and Airstream. We loaded up our two dogs, Madly and Brody, and hit the road. We quickly realized life on the road is full of surprises, and our name-embracing Detours fit our new life perfectly. Please subscribe, and welcome to the adventure. Come on out! Hi, I'm here for my appointment with Madly. Well, we just pulled up to the vet's office for Madly's appointment. And good old COVID, we're not allowed to go in the office with her. So we're waiting on them to come out and pick her up. Fingers crossed for good news, guys. We can't take any more bad news this year. All right, that went really well. She's really happy with her physical exam. She said she looks great, and she's attributing the weight loss to age and that she probably just needs a higher caloric food. So she's going to look into better food options for us and get in touch with us next week just to check in and see how things are going. So, you know, I asked myself probably a million times if I was overreacting, but these are our babies, and I'd just rather be safe than sorry. So, yeah, I'm feeling much more confident. Good news.
Very happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's emotional. It's happy emotional, though. We've dealt with a lot of loss over the past year with our animals. You have to stay alive forever. I mean it. Both of you. Well, this morning we are headed to take care of something pretty important.
Yeah, we found tires. So
we got really lucky, TJ.
Really lucky. I called around yesterday. I called 3 or 4 different places. Of course, nobody had them. They were all back ordered. We want a specific tire. The tires we have on here, we got almost 50,000 miles out of. Mm-hmm. I really like these tires. We've had them on multiple vehicles, so we wanted the same thing. And I finally called a discount tire that's a little bit south of Portland, and they had them in stock. So what are the chances? Having a 35-inch tire in stock is, I think, pretty rare. It's a pretty big tire, not very common.
We got really lucky. It's been, so far, a week of good news between Madly's good news and then finding tires. So things are coming together.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen such an efficient system? Holy cow.
Yeah, those guys were great, and I think we were in and out in less than a half an hour. Balance mounted and everything. I mean, that's pretty darn quick. And we've used Discount Tire in the past. The trailer tires are from Discount Tire, and they've always been top-notch for us.
I don't think you can get better service than this. That was really impressive to watch. It was like, what do you call the crews
at
the
like a
racetrack?
NASCAR crew.
Yeah, it was nuts. They were. That was fun to watch, actually.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Today we are headed to Mount St. Helens.
Yep, we are headed to the Johnston Ridge Observatory, which is about 2 hours north of Portland.
Yeah, we actually looked into staying camping somewhere closer, but honestly, there's not much very close to Mount St. Helens. All the camping we found was a good hour away, and we figured with everything we've got going on in Portland this week, it made more sense just to stay closer to Portland and day trip over to Mount St. Helens. So that's what we're doing.
Yep. So the visitor center up there is actually closed because of COVID, at least what we read.
Mm-hmm.
And they say they're not really dog friendly, but we've decided to bring the dogs anyway.
Well, it's going to be a 5-hour day when it's all said and done, and that's just a really long time to leave the dogs. So we decided we'll figure it out. We always make it work. The observation area is said to still be open, so I don't know if perhaps dogs are allowed in the outdoor areas, and if they're not, then we'll just take turns going to see it, I guess. We'll figure it out. We always do. Can you imagine being broken down on this bridge on I-5? It was an awful, awful place to break down.
This is Mount St. Helens behind us. It erupted in 1980, making this the 40th anniversary of its eruption.
Yes, it was the deadliest and most economically destructive volcanic activity ever in U.S. history. It killed 57 people and 250 homes. When it erupted, it was a 5.1 magnitude earthquake that caused a lateral eruption that actually took 1,300 feet of elevation off of the volcano.
Yes, cut the top of the volcano down 1,300 feet.
It was originally about 9,600 feet, and it's now about 8,300 feet. This is what it looked like before the blast, the day before the blast. And after the blast, took the top right off.
This building behind us is the visitor center here at the Johnston Observatory. It's currently closed because of COVID and all the stuff that's going on here, but you can still get out, walk around, do the observation points. There's some trails out here you can also do.
We've been told by people that have been here before that they've got a really great movie in the visitor center with this really amazing reveal where the curtains open up and you've got the view of Mount St. Helens right in front of you. The wildflowers are blooming right now, and oh my goodness, it is really gorgeous. Unfortunately, we just found out it is not dog friendly. We just saw the signs. So TJ brought the dogs back to the van. That's unfortunate. It's nice when they allow dogs on the paved areas, but not the case. So I've learned a bit more reading the signs as we've walked through this observatory, and it turns out that the volcanic activity actually started here at Mount St. Helens a few months before the eruption. There were a series of earthquakes in March of 1980 that started the series of steam and ash eruptions. So it was being very closely monitored by a team of scientists. They're actually called volcanologist, David Johnston, who this observatory is actually named after, said the volcano was like dynamite with the lit fuse. You just didn't know how long the fuse was. So they knew it was going to blow, but they didn't realize how big it was going to be and when it was going to happen. So knowing all of that, they had set up safe zones to keep people safe, not allow them in the area where they knew the blast, or where they thought the blast was going to affect whenever it happened. But it was actually a massive landslide that caused that lateral blast, and it was completely unexpected. It ended up being much bigger, much larger than anticipated, and 53 of the 57 people that lost their lives that day were outside of the safe zones. So just kind of gives you an idea of how they underestimated this volcano. Thanks for coming back with the dogs.
Yeah, no problem. Got time to play my game.
What'd you think of Mount St. Helens?
It was pretty cool.
It was.
I wish the visitor center's open because I think it would have made the experience better, but it is what it is. So.
Yeah.
Our visit to Mount St. Helens is a sobering reminder of how unpredictable life can be. As we look back on our week in Portland, we realize how fortunate we are that everything has worked out for our little traveling family. Join us next week as we put the city in our rearview mirror and head east in search of our next adventure. A special shout out to our patrons whose support helped make these videos possible. If you'd like to help support the production of these videos, please head over to patreon.com/embracing detours. Thanks for watching, and we'll see everyone next week.